in this lab we're going to basically do something similar to what we did in lab 2. So we've downloaded from GCU Learn the code files that we needed, and we'll make a folder for this. I'm just going to call it lab 3. I'll open up the folder, and then I'll open up zip file, and copy the files across. Okay, I'll just drop them into that folder. Now remember, once we've got these files opened extracted, then we're ready to go and start Visual Studio. I've already done that, so we'll go back into Visual Studio and we'll create an empty project the same way as we did before. So File, New, Project. Check that it's Visual C++, make sure it's an empty project, and give it a suitable name. So in this lab we're going to do a wee sort of 70s game called Mastermind. So we'll just call it Mastermind. I'm going to call it V2 because I already have this created, so I need to keep it unique. I'll click OK. And once the header files and folders and structure has been created, what we need to do is copy the files that we had on the desktop into here. So if we go back to the folder that we have open on the desktop and copy those files, so they're already highlighted, so I'll just do Control-C, go back to Visual Studio, and what I want to do is go to where it says Mastermind V2, it's now in blue here, and right click and say Add Existing Item, and the dialog box will open up as it did before, and within this dialog box you should see these 3 files. It's quite important that you see these 3 files. I emphasised that last time in lab 2 as well. It's very important that you see these. If you don't see these 3 files, then start again. Okay, so we'll do a right click and paste in the files that we copied. Okay, they all go in there. You may or may not get a preview of what's in the topmost file. You'll see down here at file names that there's a whole load of things along the bottom there, and we'll click Add. Once files go in, you'll see them here. We can have a look at what each of them does, and the individual files. Now it's the same as lab 2 really. It's the same sort of setup, the same things are there. So we've got a main, and you'll see there that we've got all our include files as we did before, and we can start there by creating some variables. So some of the variables that we're going to need this time round are, same as before, we're going to need the player's name. So the data type for that is string, and we'll call it player name. Remember your semicolon. Okay, and we're going to add another string for the player's guess, and we're going to set that equal to what we call the empty string. Okay, so that means that there's nothing inside the double quotes, and we've got a semicolon, and we'll create another one for what we're going to call the score, and we'll explain that in the lab exactly what's happening there. This is just to kind of get you started. Okay, and again we'll set this up for the empty string. Okay, now we're going to have an integer, and we're going to call it tries, and that's to keep count of how many tries the user has. Now in this particular game you have at most 10 tries. Okay, but we'll keep a log of that, and we'll have one more which is going to be a boolean, and it's going to be our win condition, and we're going to set this to false at the start, which means the user hasn't won the game. So with that, we can go ahead and get the player name. So again, we'll use a cout and we'll put in here, please enter user name, a wee colon and then a space just to make it look nice. And then we'll take that information in from the user. Again, make sure you put in the right pointing chevrons, and we'll store it in player name. Again, semicolon. Okay, so at this point we've to create a computer object, and to do that, same as we did before, we're going to say, well, we're going to base it off of the class called CComputer. So we type CComputer, and then, well, we'll go with the sort of same thing we've been using the last couple of times, which is the computer, because we're going to play against the computer. Okay, and we're going to create a player object, and again, same as last time, we're going to call it, or we're going to base it on CHumanPlayer. Okay, CHumanPlayer, and we'll call it the player. And remember, as we did the last time, we need to pass player name to this so that it can create it correctly. Okay, so there's a wee start for you on this particular task, and what to do now is basically follow the algorithm that you were given in the lab handout to complete the rest, but this should give you a good start. Okay.